again. It's almost like we only did this 3 days ago. But, yeah,
Surprise!
we've come a bonus episode. We did say about doing the after hours, to be fair, at some point. But, yeah, about time we actually did one, I guess, isn't it? So, hi, if you're tuning in. I hope you've had a good day. Kelly's joined in on the gram, so that'll be an interesting input as well to this, I'm sure. So you get her opinions and thoughts on the matter at hand. So, first things first, has everyone got a drink? Because I'm pouring myself some more. I'm going to need to top up on this or get something new soon.
Getting a bit low.
I haven't actually. I've got. Well, I have. It's a lie. I've got peach iced tea.
Oh, what?
Really pushing the boat out this evening.
This is where it goes like full Uno reverse, and it's like Kerry's like, yeah, I've got a bottle of tequila that I'm halfway through, single-handed.
Hey, one guess what I'm on.
Fruit squash.
Yeah.
So yeah, hi Kelly in the comments, evening Mark as well on the gram. Got Chesney's here. Bit of a different format because we're making this more Insta friendly tonight. I thought we'd give those guys a shout out. We do need Ailey's here as well. Sorry, yeah, she's hiding. Brad's here for his first appearance.
She's there somewhere.
He's sitting very dark. Brad, is there any way you could turn some light on so we can actually see you?
He wants to go through the red room effect.
So first things first, how was your game yesterday, you two, Adam, Ailey? You guys went to the Grange, didn't you, yesterday? Not the Grange,
Oh my god, turn the lights back off.
Yeah, you guys went to the Midlands yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was really good. Just great gameplay. Hit taking was wicked. Yeah, you know, we had quite a few. We had a few quite newbies, didn't we? And some rental players and whatnot, and they played really good.
And the new builds. Really.
And the new builds. Oh,
yeah. They're very good.
The one new build in the compound, it just feels like a cheat code.
Can't wait to get out there and actually get a game in up there.
Yeah, I know. The next time you go, it will be good. It will be good.
Speak of the devil, Emerson's in the comments as well. So sort of trying to get the Chairsofter after hours going again. Did Ailey turn her speaker on then by accident? Someone did, because I heard myself really
loud. Me.
Brad. Right, Adam, make a note. Don't invite him back.
No.
No. Obviously, we want to try. We said about doing the after hours episodes before, and we wanted to give a couple of days for the subject at hand to sort of settle a little bit and just gauge people's reactions. So, we spoke about National Airsoft Festival on Thursday's episode, and we were still awaiting a response from them. We hadn't heard anything back. We'd invited them onto the show to talk about things that were going on and the controversy around the whole thing, basically. As most of you know, we've been very outspoken about it this year. Unusual for us, but we have been. Basically, because we don't like to see players getting ripped off.
Are you taking the piss?
I am. Chesney's saying, Nemtaka listening, hey guys. Chesney's saying, if it's an after-hours show, we need to do a shot every time we mention F&O or level 2. Hashtag not sponsored.
You'll be wrecked.
I think we would be fucked by the end of the night. So, basically, Friday lunchtime, I finally had a response. So, basically, for personal reasons, Dan hadn't been around, who was the guy. Is he the managing director of 01?
Yeah.
Obviously said, sorry to hear we aren't coming to the NAF this year. kindly offered to come on here, but said they've now released a statement. So we read the statement out for everyone who hasn't seen it or not.
Yeah.
Statement reads: as you are well aware, we had to put our ticket prices up this year, which seems to have caused controversy. With prices increasing exponentially in every aspect of life, we assumed that the reasons behind the rise would be apparent, or at least would become clear after some further thought. However, this appears to remain a concern for some people, and so we would like to explain why the rise was necessary. Unfortunately, everything has risen in price in the last couple of years, not only in the UK, but worldwide. It's everywhere and now part of everyday life. Food and drink prices are astronomical. Astronomical? Yeah, astronomical.
Easy piece,
Insurance renewals are hundreds of pounds more, even though you haven't made a claim, and gas and electric costs are huge. Planning for the NAF takes at least 9 months, 6 months of which is full-time jobs. It is a huge undertaking from a team of people and is put on because we love what we do and we love what the event has become to a lot of people. We want that to continue. Chesley said he reckons this would sound okay if it was read aloud by Charles Dance. Unfortunately, our budget doesn't expand to that. A month before the event, a set-up team begin physical work on site and stay there on site the whole time, working very long, demanding hours, putting everything in place, a lot of which you wouldn't even notice. For those guys, it is not only physically demanding, but also mentally challenging. This setup alone is a huge expensive staff wages, accommodation, welfare, hire of plant and machinery, and the operator training required that has to be done earlier in the year. As you can imagine, a festival demands a lot of equipment. Hire fees are also through the roof. Subcontractor costs have massively increased. To give but one example, we used to be able to run our power generators on red diesel costing around 60p a litre. Now we have to use white diesel at forecourt prices. That is around triple the price. Multiply this by the thousands of litres we use to keep the power on, and the things soon add up. Estate fees that we pay for use of the land and camping are substantial and also rise every year. Our insurance premium for this event is in the tens of thousands. And of course, let's not forget increased wages for a team of more than 100 staff that make the event what it is during the weekend. Multiply all these race costs over so many different elements, and the above is not extensive, and it's no surprise prices need to go up. Other local festivals are priced at over £200 with camping or near £100 for a day. Typical cost for a camping pitch in the area, just camping and nothing else, is around £100 for 3 days. For 3 full days of unlimited camping, facilities, free entertainment, free car boot, 2 days gameplay and stalls as well, we still offer a fair and reasonable price overall. And then basically he waffled about some local event. In the same way that a festival is coming together of many different people from different countries, counties and walks of life, styles of gameplay and so on, so is the organisation behind it. Hundreds of elements, planning, people and equipment come together to make it run. We like to think that we offer a cracking event that is always getting better year upon year as we strive to make improvements. This year we've introduced showers, for example. Price rises are inevitable and apply to everything of late. Whilst we have attempted to keep price increases minimal over the years, we also want to keep offering the event now and for years to come, which means this year we have had no choice but to increase our ticket price and pass on some of these increased costs. Most importantly, however, we want happy players, and so for this year's event we are going to freeze any tiered pricing increase as the event draws nearer. The ticket price will stay the same. We are also looking to hopefully integrate Klarna's pay in 3 payment solution if possible. We guarantee that all other prices over which we have control, such as the bar shop, etc., shall remain the same as previous years for prices that are lower than most pubs. We have never inflated prices to exploit people once they are at our event, and we encourage our food vendors not to do so either. No matter what we do or say, it is bound to be criticised, but we hope that for our loyal players who come to the NAF and those who are genuinely interested, what we have said helps illustrate why price rises were necessary in order to put the event on this year, and so that it can continue into future years. Bullshit, basically. No.
If only that could have been done day one when they announced the ticket prices. I don't think there would have been any of this. And
I think this is
the
it.
total players so far still stand at 1,189.
Wow.
Yeah, this is it. I've got a comment on Instagram. Kenny's howling at your works at Ground Zero screenshot comment. This was the thing. So they put this statement out. Some of it sounds very Rishi Sunak-ish, or what's his name, the fucking Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt. Ish with we are going to freeze the prices for this year. Or we're not going to do any tiered ticket price increases. I'm sorry, it's still going up, and they're offering less and less and less each year. So, thoughts, speak, guys. Well, first off, Brad, you've not been involved in discussions with us, so what's your first opinions on it?
It's just a bit like they're just trying to cover their own asses from the sounds of it, really. Like, I get everyone's dealing with like rising costs and everything, but it's the point where it's like, oh yeah, we're doing this, we're giving you this, we're giving you this. It's like some of the things you're saying that you're bigging up for the added prices and necessities. Like, if you're going to go to a festival like that, personally, I'd expect showers. So it's a bit of an odd one. Like, why take this long to say something about it when you know people are kicking off about it?
This is it. You think, how long has this been going on now? About 3-4 months at least. And it's only because people are now, they've probably just got to the point where, because like with our email calling it out, I know of others that have called it out. Like, it feels like they're just doing a reactive thing because it is being spoken about now.
Yeah,
it is definitely just a reaction, 100%. But it's like like you said about the shower thing. It's like that's going to be a luxury to have a shower. Your personal hygiene is a luxury. It's like, really? It's like any festival you go to, things that for that long period of time would have that. They'd normally have loads of toilets and to be fair, it's one of them. I was going to go and all the reviews and everyone with all the comments is like taking away more stuff. It's like, why are you going to pay more for less?
I'm exactly in the same boat there. I've never been to NAF. I was thinking about going to NAF, seeing all this. I probably won't be going now.
If you were still getting the same,
I was just reading it and I'm like,
if you were still getting the same as you've had in previous years, it wouldn't be so much of an issue. It's the fact that they are offering less and less and less each year you go.
And also, you get
but on the other aspect as well, the rising cost has gone up for everybody. It's like even living's difficult for some people now. So you know what I mean. You're adding more to it, and it's making it more challenging for people. Like even if they want to go, like they should have thought of. It sounds bad. Personally, I think they've just thought of themselves and not everybody else.
I just want to say, by the way, I noticed Nico was in the chat on Instagram. So Nico, if you're still watching, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this as well as someone else.
Have you seen Kelly's comment as well?
Yeah, so she's saying it's really important to be transparent with customers from day one. Empire LRP put their prices up this year, but put up a post explaining why they had to go up, and everyone was cool with it. This is it. If you'd come out from day one and said, right, this is happening, but for this reason, this reason, this reason,
or even just issued that statement alongside it and say, look, this is why we're doing it. You know, laying it out. I think the ticket sales would look a little bit better by now.
Yeah, I think that's part of it as well. We've spoken about this offline, and the ticket sales are significantly down on last year, looking at the figures at the moment. So it's almost like desperation now. They're saying they're releasing this statement because they've realised that ticket sales are down because people are voting with their wallets and going elsewhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, okay.
And also, you get the people that will go every year that can afford it quite happily, but then you also got a lot of people that have to save up to go to an airsoft game or save up to go to a weekend. So it's not unreasonable to want to know where that money's going or why there's an increase when you've got to be a lot more sort of frugal with your money.
This is it, you know.
Yeah. That's like, why don't they offer like arrange something where you can do it where you pay bit by bit or something like that, especially now where it's hard for everyone. That'd help people so much.
Yeah.
And I bet you they would guarantee you'd get more people. And the thing is, if you take a deposit as well and they don't turn up, then something's better than nothing.
That's what they said, wasn't
So
it? They said they're looking at bringing in that Klarna thing.
Yeah,
like,
from a business aspect, they're still going to be getting something, and from an Airsofter's aspect, like it would help. Like you say, it is really hard sometimes to think, right, I want to go to this event, it's going to cost me this much to go, this much. It's in the hundreds, and it's not a little amount of money for some people.
Yeah. Chesney raising a point that we made as well. The cost of NAF Weekender is more than I've paid for 2 other weekenders. Oh, I realised that cut Brad off there. Sorry, Brad. It is, though. That's the thing. You know, I know Adam and Ada, you two are going to the Warzone Festival now.
Yeah, so we're doing that, and then we're doing Goodman Midland Airsoft Weekender. And both of them are costing us the price of NAF. So we're getting 4 days shoot less than the price of NAF. So we're doing 4 days shooting, more than 4 days camping, isn't it? Because it's Friday, Saturday. Oh no, it's Friday, Saturday, both weekends, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, 4 days camping, 4 days full 4 days. Full days airsoft.
See, it's not so easy, is it? You taking the piss when I was trying to read the statement.
It's like me and my dad are going to both those events as well. And I think when we mentioned about going to NAF as a team last year, I said to Dad about it, and he was like, if we go to this, we'll have to really think about going to NAF. But then the minute I mentioned what we were getting at the Warzone one and the Gunman one, wasn't even a like bat eyelid. He was like, yeah, we'll go to that.
There's also something to be said for smaller events as well, because the smaller events, like I know NAF, you'll shoot with your mates and whatnot, but at least at the smaller events, you're shooting with your mates and potentially against your mates.
Yeah.
Like I know at the Gunman one, there's going to be people we know on the other teams, and that's going to make it even better because you're shooting with like-minded people. Like when we did the Chairsofter jail game.
Yeah, that was a laugh.
You're shooting with like-minded people that are all going for the same reason, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And it was like, you had none of the bullshit that you normally get at games. You know, you're not trying to herd sheep like NAF is at the end of the day. You know, 3,500 people, pretty much unmarshalled. You know.
I was going to say, I feel like with smaller events, you'll be more looked after as well. Like, if you said something that was wrong or whatever, they'd sort it out. Whereas NAF would just be like, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark's raising a valid point on Instagram as well. He's saying that they used to do a deposit system a few years ago, then took it away. So that's another thing as well, because you've got events such as, I know Download do it, or they definitely used to. I think they still do it, if I remember rightly. But some of the big festivals, in fact, a lot of the big festivals will do a deposit scheme, and then you can pay it off over the months. And I'm going back to, 2016, the last time I went to Download, and they did that? So taking something away that would be hugely popular and possibly increase your numbers, because not everyone has 130 quid to drop at a hat. You know
how much it is per person? Because I didn't actually have a look.
Yeah, it's 130 quid per person for the weekend.
I was just having a look on Warzone because my daughter actually brought up about going because she had a look at it and was really interested. So I said, we'll see. And when it's a lot of money, especially if it's like a first event, if it's like I've looked at the price of that, that's going to cost me what it is for both of us to go. So that's not as bad. Like if she turns up and she decides, right, no, this isn't for me, it's a bit too much, then we'll just disappear and we'll go home, sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's not as bad, but that's a lot of money. It really is.
Yeah.
Richard Nelson asking what it cost last year because he can't remember. In all honesty, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I think it was about the 100 mark.
For early
95
bird,
or 100.
Or like mid. Definitely, it was about 100, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember people saying it was about a 30 quid increase this year. So it's like a significant it's a significant jump at the end of the day. You know, people can save and save and save for months, and they think, I've got money together, I'll book onto that, and it's like, oh shit, hang on a minute. Dan saying go home to you, Kerry saying go home. You stay, play, and make her your chief mag reloader. Yeah, Ross's reason
I won't go very well with her.
Mark's saying
17.
Mark's saying it was 110 last year, even 20 quid, for less. That's the thing. It's because less is on offer. Ross is saying 130 quid. The highest grade mil sims in the UK are less.
Wow.
And some of them are on MOD sites, which aren't cheap to rent.
And there's a lot put into them as well.
This is it, getting vehicles to turn up, I remember an event years ago where they had a proper sort of reenactment group turn up for Airsoft, and they had full-on Wimics, they crewed them properly and everything. And they literally turned up for that. That was at Tottenham. But,
that's cool.
it's even like last year, they're saying about all their staff, I'm sorry, a lot of their staff, most of the time, we can tell you firsthand, were just getting stoned in the campsite because they were camping next to us.
See, I thought they would have had a load of volunteers. I know, some sites, they'll do it where you volunteer to help them out, and then you get, game days. And to be part of it, it'd be an experience, would it?
Yeah.
It's like the lack of security in that as well. You haven't got the security patrols going around like you'd had in previous years, and the thefts increased.
See, that should be a massive priority because it's the safety of people, and obviously they're going to have lots of stuff there, and they are dangerous pieces of equipment in the wrong hands. That's just... This
is it as well. And back in 22, when I went over and I was linking up with my buddy Mark, and the guy in the tent next to him, basically he got smashed and was having a medical thing going on.
Yeah.
But because staff were patrolling round, it wasn't long before you were actually able to get someone flagged down and go, look, this guy needs some help. He's got a medical emergency. Can you go check on him?
Mm-hmm.
And they could deal with it. But last year you didn't have anyone patrolling.
Wow. So it's going to be a case of basically the players, because I know there's a lot of I've seen in Airsoft, there's a lot of people that work in the medics and things like that. So they'll end up looking after them. To be fair, it's almost like they're relying on the players to look after themselves and everybody else.
Yeah,
that's the way it feels.
But you think about all the weekenders now, because Cam Man's just brought it up as well. You've got the Gunman Weekender that we're going to. I don't know if they still do Gunman International down in Hertfordshire as well. I used to do that not far from me. You've got Shift Your Rifts that he's mentioning as a weekender. And you got the Warzone Fest. There's a lot of weekenders coming along now.
Yeah.
No Man's Land as well are doing that.
No Man's Land's doing
No Man's Land, now you mention it. Yeah, I saw about that the other day. So all these sites seem to be now taking on, you know what? People aren't going to go to NAF. Let's offer something else. Let's offer an alternative event for people to go to. Yes, okay, the numbers aren't going to be like that, but I'm going to have a better weekend at an event with 80 players, 100 players.
And then obviously you're going to start getting all the feedback from these weekenders that are happening at or around NAF. Is devil's advocate, is this the death of NAF? Slowly.
I think that's partially why they're putting this statement out. Are they worried about it?
So I just seen one of the comments put claymores for the tents.
Yeah. Well, this is another thing that was mentioned, though. So you think about what they had in the previous years. It used to be a case of they had a massive shop at Zero and had a huge shop at NAF. Then, when I first attended in 2019, they had a fairly big shop. It was about the size of a marquee, basically. Like a big old marquee tent. And they'd literally got sort of the main sellers, the big sellers and all the new stuff on show, and anything else that they had in the shop, they had tablets dotted around, and you just go in, you could place your order on the tablet, and it would be delivered that day or the next day, depending on the delivery sort of thing. It'd be there instantly. This year it was a tiny little corner, and if you'd ordered something, you had to queue up for a couple of hours to get to it.
Wow.
And it was I pre-ordered that patch, and it said, one of the team patches, and it said, oh yeah, come and get it. The state of it was horrendous. It looked like it had been worn by someone for years. because it was like it was
as well. Like even simple things like the reusable cups that they were doing. If you didn't get one in the first sort of half day, they didn't have any more for the whole weekend. Like I don't know what happened there, but you're just like, oh, okay.
Wow. But they're charging everyone more.
It's that. You know what I mean?
This was it, because Ailey was like, oh, we'll order them. We'll get one each, and then we can just have them for the weekend, refill them. No, gone straight away. Like they're long gone.
Yeah.
So, and it's like as well, you know, when you're meant to be sort of reducing your environmental footprint these days, because they're encouraging you to get rid of single-use plastics and that, and it's like make those more available for people. I would have bought one.
Yeah.
Harry's saying as well, like in previous years, what they'd had, you turn up and they give you your welcome pack, and there would be an envelope with all your maps, everything for the game weekend. You had your event patch, everything was in there. This year, it was just like, oh yeah, just giving bits of stuff out, and they got confused with you and Ailey, didn't they, Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like some people didn't get the patches at all because they'd run out, and it's just a poor showing this year.
Seems like they don't care, to be honest.
Yeah, so, it's almost like I wouldn't say they don't care. I think they've got complacent.
I've just had a look, and for me and my dad to go, stay till Monday, and get 2 of the reusable cups that we could pick up at the event, it's nearly £300 for us to both go.
Wow.
That's the full price. It works out £287.
That is a lot.
And the showers, it says that showers will be £2 per shower.
Yeah.
Camman's just said, gameplay-wise, wouldn't mind betting this year's NAF will be one of the best. Will be nice to move around a bit more freely.
Well, is
that because he's betting by that point there's going to be less people? Is that more why you've said that?
He's also said there as well, he thinks that there's 400 players at Shift Your Rifts and it's £85 a head. And you know, I mean, I don't know if they're doing it this year, but in the last one, I believe they actually managed to pay the army to come and cater, like the big army mobile catering unit to come over and cater for everyone. And things like that. So, you know, they still have quite a bit going on. But it's like last year as well. We went up, we had a couple of drinks, but then we just ended back up in the campsite chatting to the ghosts and playing card games and shit, didn't we? And putting marshmallows on a guy's head when he was sleeping and things like that. Because you get to a point and it's like people just get cretinous as well after too much drink. Some of them just sit in the tents all day drinking, and it's like, okay, that's their prerogative because there is a social only aspect to it.
Yeah,
but it's the people that go for the social only tend to be the ones that can't handle their drink a lot of the time as well. So it's like, don't go and ruin it for everyone at the end of the day. I just wish they'd been a bit forward about this sooner, to be honest with you.
100%. Thing is, it's going to this could potentially be the start of the downfall.
Yeah. Harry's saying, have we seen the Ground Zero employees comment? We did, because Adam responded to it saying that it was an employee of Ground 01, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an employee of 01 that commented saying...
Yeah, that was me. I just clicked on their profile and it says works at Ground Zero, so I just screenshotted it and put it as a reply back to them.
I'm going to try and find that actually because you did, but it was things as well. It's like people have like we had one very unhelpful comment from a certain former employee of an airsoft company in the UK that I don't want to mention because I can't stand him. But basically, it was like, well, if you don't like it, don't go. We're not going to go because we don't like it, but we're not going to stand by and just let people get shafted at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know,
we'd rather everybody be fully informed of.
Yes, to be fair, everyone, like someone, I think Chesley said, they're taking advantage of their popularity and it's fucking them in the arse. You think if people are going, oh yeah, NAF, I've heard about this, it's going to be absolutely brilliant, and they don't know what's going on. It's like, well.
And don't get me wrong, for some people, NAF is probably brilliant.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Probably
100%.
everything
Some
they
people
want it
absolutely
to
love
be,
the
but-
social. They really will. But it's not.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to be going to an event that's had previously like 3,000 people, it's going to be this massive experience of a lifetime and things like that, and you turn up and there's not even half of that, and half of the schools, and
like,
you're going to be like, well, oh, what's this about then?
Yeah.
So-
and one of the reasons the ghosts go is mainly for the social.
No.
I've just looked on the site
they can all
there.
meet up because they're such a big team.
I've just looked on the site there. There's 116 days until it starts.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of the website, it's saying there is currently 1,189 players of 3,450 slots available.
So I wonder how many, somebody needs to do the maths for me, but I wonder how many tickets they would have to sell per day to be at capacity by the event.
I think Keith figured it out the other day, and when we spoke about this on Thursday, I think it was about 83 tickets a day or something, or 53 tickets a day.
How many days until the event, Brad?
116.
116.
It's not a lot, really.
They need to sell 19 and a half tickets a day.
I mean, I don't know how much that's actually gone up since the other night, to be honest with you, because I can't remember the figure, but it's at 1,189.
The puppy was napping. He decided to come and harass me. Normally he's out the room, the little... Yeah.
Chesney saying, if you're a first time, you should be happy with losing your virginity, not going home disappointed. That's it, like, this is it. It's just, I don't get it. I really don't. But on the plus side, AD, you can pre-order your limited edition NAF 24 pint tumbler.
There's been 20 since the announcement. So 3 days. Was it 3 days the announcement?
Yeah. It was Friday, so we're 2 days in now.
2 days, they sold 20. It's still not even hitting it, is it?
No, exactly. Mark's saying that's a big ask in today's climate as well on Instagram. It is. It's a lot of people to bring along at the end of the day.
It is, especially when early doors now people have gone, okay, I'll look for something else and I'll go elsewhere. Which
exactly what we did. You know, if we'd have got the whole team to go, it would have been about 15 people.
Yeah.
With our team and with like the other people that would come with us.
Yeah.
Is that because someone said, "Hey, everyone" in the comments, Kerry? I saw that cheeky little way.
I'll say hello to people.
Yeah, but it's just Why would we want to spend all that time going through it? But so this comment come up. It's in the public domain, so I can name them. Ruth Elms said, "Makes me laugh why all these people are complaining. Look at all the festivals that happen and the cost increases year on year. Seems to me these guys have been spoilt by a static pricing for far too long and actually needs to understand the costs of running such an event for the entertainment of their hobby. Should be grateful that it is still able to continue, as many other events have fallen by the wayside due to increasing costs of running such events." First comment, it was from Adam saying, "Works at Ground Zero." Like literally taking a screenshot from her profile. It's literally on her profile. You click on it and it just comes up straight away.
That's the thing, though. There are people that do understand the events, and a lot of them are probably the people asking these questions. I used to organise large events of over 8,000 people
as well, because she said that there's not many sites doing it now. Well, actually, there's more sites doing it now because of the shit show that you've started.
Yeah, and there are ways that you can actually save money as well. And firstly, be open with the community. That would be helpful. Yeah. I guarantee you would get so much support to keep NAF going from people volunteering to help marshal, like do half day, play half day, and things like that. There is a lot of the thing is the airsoft community is absolutely amazing. I've met some seriously just they almost become family, like you guys and things like that. You know what I mean? I've met some just amazing people, and I guarantee you if they just put it out there, say, look, if things are getting hard, anyone got ideas of how we can make it work where you'd all be happy or something. There's so many options available. Like just making it more. Give me more money, but we'll give you less. Don't work like that. It really don't.
Yeah, and Harry's saying that most of the comments from Ground Zero seem to blame most issues on insurance.
The night game is not happening, unfortunately, due to insurance reasons.
Yeah,
copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste.
This is it. It's they're saying that they couldn't get on the night game for insurance reasons. They said that they couldn't move the portable toilet or the private toilets around anymore because of health and safety reasons, and they couldn't get it covered in that. But why am I going to pay 150 quid for a toilet that's somewhere where it's going to get broken into? Someone's going to break into it. If I've paid 150 quid and I would say in their defence last year, the toilets were actually better maintained than they have been the year before.
Really
Adam's very fussy.
There was a couple that obviously you were thinking like absolutely not, but there was always one that was like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. As Dan Chesney said, so 0-1 on behalf of the Airsoft community, we thank you for your greed as we now have a greater choice of events from others realising your stupidity is their opportunity. I tip my hat.
Yeah. But he's hit the nail on the head, essentially.
Yeah. But it's also, you hear the same thing. So Josh was coming on the Instagram from our team. He said that he's been in Airsoft for about 7 years and he'd have loved to have gone to an AF at some point, but it's got to improve before he'd even contemplate it. But this is it, Last year they said that there weren't meant to be any sales or second-hand sales in the campsite. They'd set up a boot sale area, which was tucked away behind the toilets up in the main area. And unless you knew it was there, you wouldn't have gone over.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, but then, the guys we were staying with, they had a shitload of stuff to sell and had to lug it all the way up there in a trolley that broke on the way up. And then had to lug it all back at the end of the day if they hadn't sold everything. And then in the meantime, you had someone next to us selling all their shit. And it was brand new shit. Not second hand. But he'd come and done that because he didn't want to pay for a vendor's pitch.
Yeah, I just feel like the second-hand bit was just an afterthought. It's like, you guys better go and set up over there somewhere.
Well, what they used to do was the very top where it was the guys that had the launcher nicked.
Flashbang Smoke.
Yeah. Where those guys were set up, that sort of corner there used to be the second-hand sales, but people would go along of an evening with a chair and some bits to sell, and they'd sell it all there. If they weren't in the campsite selling like our guys had done before.
Yeah.
In fact, I did it the year before because I was selling a couple of bits off there. But then they changed it last year, and then you had, was it Hero Shark who was sat next to us selling all their stuff? And then you heard about one guy that had gone over somewhere else in the campsite, and people were just selling brand new shit as well because they didn't want to pay for a vendor's pitch as well. Because I don't think the vendor's pitches are that cheap, but. If you're going to have one rule that needs enforcing,
because there wasn't anybody going around making sure there wasn't people selling second-hand stuff in the campsite.
So the security thing, like I brought up about the security, there must be like disclaimers about you keeping your stuff safe and things like that. Or like, are you allowed to have your vehicles near your camp areas?
Yeah, you can park your car almost right next to it at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
so
we didn't.
Your guns and stuff in the vehicle and things like that. But there's basically what I'm saying is there is options to give towards the insurance company saying, right, so they can actually sign this if they lose it as their fault sort of thing. But then on the other hand, from the community side of it, they should have security there as well. They really should.
They have their car stolen it now. I can't remember now.
Really?
Apparently someone's car got nicked. I don't know how. This is unconfirmed. This could just be one of the
rumours.
Yeah. Like the rumour that appears every year of a certain unsavoury individual within the Airsoft community that likes to make the odd video every now and again appears, and they say it every year, and he's never there. But
yeah, see, I have heard stories about NAF over the last few years because I've been playing for a while. There is one incident that I got told about that I ain't going to say on here, but let's just say it's a female safety issue. Something really bad happened to someone, and that scared me. Honestly, that absolutely scared me. And I wouldn't go unless I had a group of people that I knew who I'd go with. I wouldn't recommend most females going on their own. But after hearing that, and then like knowing the security's down, it's like you've got thousands of people there. It's like safety should be a priority, to be honest.
Yeah. It's not even that. Like the incident that we had, like obviously I went back to the tent and stuff, and obviously an incident happened, and I called for Adam and Andy because I didn't feel safe going over on my own to be like, what are you doing? Yeah.
Well, we can talk about the incident. We've spoken about it before, and it's out there.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't.
People.
Gone over it again.
No, a couple of our friends, someone tried nicking their tent, and I mean, those players were meant to have been banned as well. That's another thing that's pissed me off about the whole situation. They were meant to have been banned from going back, and they were talking like they'd still be able to go, and it's like, you should have been banned because you were trying to thieve, and they were just like, well, no, we wouldn't steal from them because our.
So they know that like, they're no. I don't get that. I really don't. It's like, why allow them? The thing is, if they know all these sort of things have happened, why have they not spent more time in actually sitting there planning it? They've probably come up with ideas, and it is a shame because it sounds like an absolutely amazing event. But obviously, there are some issues. Even if they have to reduce the time of it or something to save some money, rather than doing it for a few days or just change a few things, then I'm sure people will understand in the long run.
Yeah, this is it.
Times change. Like, I'm not being funny. I know COVID, that knocked a lot of people back, and sometimes things might have to go from a 3-day event to a 2-day or even a single day. But there are ways and means around it. There really is.
Well, this is something we've spoken about before as well. The amount of people that we knew that didn't come back after COVID. That never picked up Airsoft again, and they never came back. I'm sure Adam can name a few. I can certainly think of a few off the top of my head that never started playing again.
Oh God, yeah, loads come and go, don't they?
I mean, I don't play anywhere near as much as I used to before COVID. No, it's just that time away. Things changed in priority for me.
I went the opposite way. I play more.
Yeah.
I missed it too much.
I think everybody or most airsofters will remember their first game back after COVID. I know I do. My first shoot that was the jail.
Sorry, carry on. I'm dying.
But
no,
yeah,
response written every year, like no one. Yeah, it does. I think, to be honest, that response is just they're doing it just because it's what people want to hear. Because if they really cared and wanted to address it, they would have done it as soon as it come up. Because it weren't like it was just 1 or 2 people bringing it up. It was a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if you really wanted to sort it, they would have done it then, not done it now, months later. And they're like, oh no.
Harry's saying here it's the manner the response is written. It reads like no one knows about the cost of living. It's basically like it was written by the Tory party.
What was that meme that you put? It's like Rishi Sunak explaining about the cost of living or something.
I can't. It basically is though. It's like Rishi Sunak or Jeremy Hunt saying about like, oh, we're going to freeze this cost for the next. Like it's like when they're doing the budget, basically.
Like, I don't think any of us are naive. We know that these prices go up and stuff like that, but just be transparent and open and honest about it all.
Yeah, it was a comment in a Facebook Airsoft group. And it says, reading the NAF eulogy is a lot like listening to Rishi Sunak complain about the cost of living.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was it. Yeah. And Dan Chesney raised a valid point here as well. They should go back to basics and think about what they want their event to be. And if they can't do it for a reasonable cost, then should they continue a cool time on it?
That's exactly what I mean. They should have just stopped and gone, right, we've had all these issues. We're struggling to afford it. What about even reducing it or doing something? Even if they, like I said, go back to basics and almost start over again, it is what it is. I think people would rather them do that than lose NAF.
Also, the way I look at it as well, like an airsoft festival should be everything to do with airsoft, and it should be as many things as possible. I think you shouldn't have. I don't think you should have a monopoly on who just sells patches or who just sells one thing. Or,
I did hear about that. Yeah, you're only allowed you're only allowed certain ones from certain companies and things like that. Do you know what? Support all these small companies that are doing amazing things. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just let them all join in. Guarantee you, they will all support each other.
Yeah.
So, Brad, come back to you here because you've been very quiet for a while.
Sorry to
What?
up.
No, we all do, and he's just sitting there, bless him. We've invited him on, and he's just sitting there.
I can't help it.
What would it take for you to go to try an AF now? Given everything that's happened, what would need to change to get you to go and say, I'm going to go try this event?
I think the biggest thing for me would be the security aspect. That's the main thing. Like, I get, obviously, you know, cost of living and all that. I get so prices are higher. So, you know, if I was okay with paying that price, and yeah, that's fine. You know, get the stuff you get. But for me, it would be the security aspect, because money for me isn't a great thing to come. Like, it's not an easy thing to come by. And you know, I've spent, as you can see on my wall, I've spent a decent amount of money that I've managed to save up to get this sort of kit.
Yeah.
If this sort of stuff gets stolen, this isn't easy for me to replace.
Yeah.
Like this was the first ever. Look, this one was the first ever airsoft gun I ever bought, and then the Eva was the first time I ever spent more than £90 on a rifle.
I got Evo as well.
Yeah.
So I love my Evo.
Oh,
Best gun.
I can't be without it. But
I'm going to have to get one now because everyone else has fucking got
Mate,
one.
you need to. Honestly,
You're
my
missing
Sally
out.
is just.
Oh, 100%.
She's a little beast.
But
Absolutely
but yeah.
brilliant gun.
If this sort of stuff got stolen, I genuinely consider leaving it, like not playing airsoft anymore.
Yeah, to be fair, I can understand that because that is a lot of money, isn't it?
Another thing is, I've recently also got into working security as well. So knowing that, you know, they have 3,000, say we have 3,500 people there. For every 150 people, you need one security guard. So they wouldn't need many. They wouldn't have to, like, they could employ door supervisors. It doesn't cost a lot, and you could only have maybe 10, and that's all you'd need.
I think one thing for me as well, thinking about it while we're talking about this issue, is the fact that there's no one at the gate checking who's coming in and out. You can just freely come and go all weekend.
Yeah.
So anyone could be there.
Oh wow.
So it's like
that could easily be filled by 2 door supervisors on £13 an hour for the time that you let people in and you stop letting people in. Like the hours that you let people into that gate.
Yeah. And like, even if someone needs to leave, you can leave a number basically, so they can contact someone that'll be on site. Like, you obviously have to have different ones because some are not expected to stay the whole time. So then at least you know. Like, I know for a fact when you're marshalling, anyone leaves that game field, I want to know they're going because you want to make sure they're safe at the end of the day and make sure they're okay while they leave and that you sort something out or pop the shops or you know what I mean. So
the biggest thing for me to now go to NAF would be security gets sorted, and
sorry, Chesley's just distracted.
It threw me a little bit.
Chesley, you absolute cretin.
Like security to be upped, and just the basics, like the whole shower. Going back to the whole shower thing again, just. The basics. I don't want to have to sit there and
charge 50p for a shower.
I don't want to sit there and look at my phone and go, "Ooh, can I go for a shower?"
Especially as you know when
what state is the shower going to be in? Is it constantly being cleaned as well?
The thing is, how they manage for so long. I'm not if people will do washers, baby wipes, and all that lot. They kind of expect that experience. You know what I mean? So
shower in a can of links, you're sorted.
Yeah. Exactly, you know what I mean. And I've seen actually the ones that hang on the back of cars and things like that. And there are other options. If they've done it for years, then is that really an essential extra cost?
Yeah. For me, it would, like I said, it would be the security, and then knowing
get rid of the showers, sort the security out.
Yeah, security, and then knowing if I'm going to get
water, that'll do.
Getting this game that I've been promised by all these people that you're going to have a really good time at NAF. Like, am I though?
Yeah. It's even things like last year, you know, they say about, oh yeah, no letting off pyro in the campsite, no dry fire in the campsite, but no one's there enforcing that shit. We had pyros going off at what, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning last year, was it?
Yeah.
And then some twat who decided to turn his music up to full blast at 3 o'clock in the morning as well. But no one's dealing with it, and it's like we know the staff there can hear it because they were in the same fucking campsite. They were next to us. Like where we camped last year, there was a fence and a staff. So it's not like they don't know this shit's going on. Just, I think.
But I get music and whatever until like a certain time, like I don't know, whatever you want to call it, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever.
Mm.
But then after a certain point, it just becomes
obnoxious.
Yeah. I couldn't even think of the word. But
This is it. Even the ghosts, like we were expecting them to party, but they were fairly restrained last year, to be fair. And that even like chatting to those guys, they were saying that the event didn't sort of feel like it had the same atmosphere to it that it's had in previous years. The NemTech guys are saying similar sort of things here, but prices aren't the issue. It's the degradation of the festival that's brought the issues up for most folks. The removal of things such as the delivery of private toilets, lack of the night games, the second-hand area shrinking. And then Harry's saying that value for money, sort the game out so it's not a shit show, vendors and second-hand sales, decent facilities, that's it. Doesn't matter the price if it's value for money. Also, the customer feedback has done it for me. The rudeness and sense of superiority of the event. And then the Peter Wellows email did it for me initially with Howard, where he basically sort of turned around and said, Don't be poor. It's not about not being poor. You guys are going to be suffering the same, or should be, well, probably not with the amount of money they're probably taking away from this. But
it's like the one that got me, this actually happened to me recently. I remember when I first got into Airsoft, someone asked me, now I've been playing Airsoft, 6-7 years?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I first got into Airsoft, I remember someone saying to me, "Oh, have you ever been to NAS?" And I was like, "No." "Oh my God, you've got to go. You'll love it. It's one of the best things you can do in Airsoft." I was like, "All right, I'll look into it." Now, and it happened recently, I think I was talking to someone at the Chairsofter game, and they went, "Oh, have you ever been to NAF?" And I was like, "No." And they literally just went, "Don't bother."
Yeah, I've had that quite a lot.
And that's only 7, and that's only what the matter of 6 years that's changed to that much.
Yeah.
The thing is, I want to be able to bother. I want to say that I've had that experience, but to spend that amount of money for something that's going to be unsafe by the sounds of it, not very well organised, and basically a massive piss up. Well, that's basically what it sounds like it's all going to be. People getting drunk with guns, like really,
I know
and
something
especially
I can spend £300 on better than that.
Yeah, especially where you've got marshals not doing anything. You know what I mean? You're going to need that. If you put alcohol, adults and guns together, you're going to need to up your game on security and marshals.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
I guarantee some of those people with guns, they go out to play in the morning, they're still half cut from the night before.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. You see the state of some of them leaving the bar. I can think of a couple that me, Adam, Ailey and Brad all know that were in no fit state to be playing Airsoft the next day, and they still were out there.
Yeah, see, they should. The marshals should have their judgment and be like, "Look, mate, it's too much for you. You stop playing." And then if there's an issue, that's when the security then comes in. You know what I mean? There's protocols for it, but it just seems like they're not.
Daph's just done some quick maths for us.
Breathalyze people as they go into game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Daph's just come back with some figures saying, is it a £500,000 event?
By the sounds of it, no.
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 It isn't really.
Wow.
That's simple, isn't it?
As I said,
and that's just on basic ticket as well. That's not.
And that's basic, and they can't offer security for that. That's
not staying till Monday. That's not putting on your toilet. That's not adding your things that you can pick up from the shop. That's just a pure basic ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the cost prices for staff and things like that. I know a lot of people that do events and things like that, they don't actually take much wage for themselves, especially if they got a full-time job. They do it for the community. Well, why are they taking a wage like that?
I'd also like to say as well, that's not accounting for the vendors' prices as well.
Yeah, none of that either.
You know.
Yeah, because I dread to think how much they get charged to be there for the weekend.
Well, obviously they don't have loads of them because they're only, from what I hear, they allow a select few, which I think that's bad. They should support everybody in the community.
And then I imagine they'll get a percentage of the takings from all the food vendors as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of events, they either work as a set rate for catering, like they have to pay a set pitch fee, or like you say, you work on a percentage of whatever they sell, throughout the event. I think it's usually around 10%, depending on what they agree on. But
yeah, but like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how these small events. Like I noticed, Hidden Hedgehog was in the comments on, or he joined the stream on Instagram. I don't know if he's still watching, but it'll be interesting to see how their event goes. I'm looking forward to the debrief from you guys that are going.
Yeah.
On that one, and also we've had Silky in the comments as well, so we're hoping to speak to him.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for him to get back with me for a date.
We're trying to link up with him so we can talk about his event beforehand as well, and what differences it can offer to NAF. Yes, it's a much smaller event, and I mean, to be fair, we did sort of rinse the tickets with our team and people we know, but that's another story for another day.
I think there are a couple of tickets left for Griffin if you do want to come and play alongside or against, rather, Gunfighter Tactical.
Yeah. It's you've got Ben. You mentioned vendors from Silky. So if anyone knows any vendors that have been or that would be interested in coming to a smaller event, can we drop them a message? Yeah, 100%. If I know of anyone, we'll speak to them. The unfortunate thing is the usual sort of big names that you get are going to be at NAF, and they're going to pay that extortionate price to go there because they know that they're going to make that money there.
There is definitely a few, the smaller ones that you could definitely get there, I reckon. And another thing as well, I think they should support charities.
Yeah, this is charity events as well.
But even like NAF, do they have any stalls that support like charities or anything like that?
No. Not that I know of.
No.
Not that I can remember.
See, every event I used to do, we had only a set amount, and obviously we don't have two of the same sort of charities, but we used to have 10, 15 charity stalls and just let them have a pitch, sort of thing. But you've got there are so many sort of Help for Hero ones. There's I noticed they do like the man down talk thing as well. Even things like that, you know what I mean? It should be more about the community.
We've got one Griffin and one Recon and one Command for Griffin for the GAM weekend, or if anybody fancies it.
Wish I could do the weekend ones. Not yet. I'm trying for Warzone.
Yeah, like I said, Silky, there's a valid point there. If you guys haven't got a game on, go and have a chat with some of the vendors at the Midlands Airsoft Fair. Who is it? Deadly Customs. He might be interested in going, potentially. Have a chat with him, maybe. I'm sure he'd want to go and sell some stuff.
I think we've got a spam comment.
Yeah, there is.
What does this add to block list do? This is it. I'm just sick and tired of seeing people getting ripped off at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you're offering less and it takes you 4 or 5 months to actually come up with a reason why you're offering less but charging a lot more, it seems like too little, too late. I did notice that the NemTech guys have said that they're releasing an episode on this, but that we've beat them to it because theirs is still buffering. But drop us a link and we'll add it into the comments on here as well, guys, so we can drop you guys some more people, hopefully, as well. Hulk's saying tell him the dates for these events.
Bank holiday weekend.
I think Hulk's away. Hulk's abroad, so that'd be it's the August weekend of the 23rd to the 25th.
Yeah.
Chesney, no, I didn't block a reputable person trying to sell us patches.
My chat feed's disappeared now. When you've got rid of that comment, it stops my chat feed working.
Oh, has it? That's weird.
What?
Rip. But yeah, so Hulk, it's that weekend. The Warzone weekend.
I was just looking through the comments on the post that the statement they put up, and someone's made a really good point. They've said about they're going to be adding Klarna. That's all well and good. If you've got good credit, though,
yeah,
If you haven't got
is
good
that as well,
credit,
yeah.
Klarna doesn't accept you.
No.
This is it, yeah. You know, I'm in the fortunate position that my credit score's actually okay. So
Yeah, mine's. It took me a few years.
Yeah,
but then
but
it's
you know,
it's one of them.
someone
Yeah.
might see that Klarna and go, oh yeah, I can go NAF, and then oh no, Klarna don't
Oh
let
yeah,
me.
that's the most disheartening bit though. You think, oh yeah, actually, yeah, this is going to be really good. I could do it, and then you get like, no, you've been declined. It's like, oh
and then
well.
all of a sudden you get the coffin dancers appear on your screen.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, so
They've got
I don't know
plenty of
what-
options, but
there's other options out there, guys, this year, and I think the takeaway from us is this is the year to take up those options and have a look at other things.
and when you get loads and loads of people commenting and asking the same question, answer it. It's that simple. Answer it. If they're not going to like the answer, then tough.
Daph's raising a valid point. Is a weekend event worth risking getting into debt as well?
Nope.
No, at the end of the day, it's airsoft.
Yeah.
And
so
as
I mean,
we've
even
already
if they made
discussed
the
as
event
well-
smaller and stuff, things like that, and it's just the amount of options are just it is there. It really is. But
yeah,
it's all up to
You know,
them.
Yeah.
For what I could pay to go to NAF, I could pay for 3 games and a McDonald's breakfast at the jail.
Yeah.
What
That's
did-
actually
what did- what-
that's free. Yeah, I think that's a lot of time as well. It's 3 good
What's
days.
the
Yeah.
gunman? What's the gunman one cost and the Warzone one cost?
The
Warzone one,
£66, and
Yeah.
Warzone I think is
65.
or
Hang
somewhere around. They're basically around the same.
yeah, it's less than 70
One
quid.
sec. I
Yeah.
literally just had a look a
One.
second ago. Whoop. £65 each for the Warzone Festival, and
Yeah,
that's Friday to Sunday. Yeah, Friday 8:30 and it's till
So that's
Sunday
what just a bit more than a ticket for NAF,
4:30.
and that's 2 events we're going.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that just for me to go to NAF is basically me and my kid to go, to one event. Which
that's what. Yeah, 260 quid. It's not, and then that's before you start adding the fuel to get down there because it's a long old trek for you as well. I mean, Christ, for me, it's what 2.5 hours was it last year, Adam? That it took me to get down there.
Yeah, you got a couple of more hours on for me as well, so it's
And
got to be. And there's some people that come from like Ireland and stuff as well, so it's like, come on, guys, what are you doing?
And also, Ground Zero are charging £5 per HPA refill.
And it can take up to 3 hours. Someone said in the comments as well.
What?
Yeah.
Whereas,
God.
So that's what a fiver to wait 3 hours.
Your own bottle in seconds.
So basically, there's no point playing.
2 hour.
Just bring loads of bottles, which is then more expensive. But it's just
2 hours 10 minutes for me.
Yeah, so it's like you've got 3 hours potentially. You're going to be sitting out of the game day. Let's not even get into the chrono queue as well.
Oh, God.
That's 3 hours. That's basically half your day just gone.
Yeah.
You've got the chrono queue on the Friday as well. Trying to get chronoed beforehand. It's what, an hour we were stood there, hour and a half. I was stood there with you two last year.
Oh, easy, yeah.
Wow.
Probably about 2 hours, I would say.
Mm.
But then checking on the way in and the way out. Have you chronoed either?
And they're checking everything on the point too as well, not on the weight you're actually using. So they're not checking in joules or anything.
Yeah, see, that's the
Right.
thing. The dual creep, as soon as you hit 2.8 upwards, the dual creep does kick in, and it makes a massive difference.
Well, you look at my G5 that we took to there last year. It was just creeping out, whereas it was quite significantly out of limits. But you chrono it on a 0.2 and it was fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. Like, we have some of them, we chrono them, and they're like, oh, I'm running freeze. Right, no, try it on a different weight. They work perfectly fine, but we have to go, right, you can only run that gun on 0.2s. You can't run it on anything else because it will make it hot. And then they either do that or they don't play. Simples.
Sorry, I'm just having to send Josh a capital letters and lowercase message on Instagram because he's asked about that he might get over there for the.
Take your compressor and charge £3 a refill. That'd be
I
quicker.
like that. I saw that, and that's what I laughed at that. I like that.
But these will be expensive for HP.
Adam, you've got that on fucking copy and paste, haven't you now?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, diesel is expensive for the HP compressor. But yeah, no, like it's just fucking stupid.
I'm sure you get ones that you just plug in.
Are we witnessing the death of NAF? Possibly.
Hopefully not, because it was
I hope
one of
not,
the things
but
on my bucket list to try. It really was.
At the same time, it'll be their own fault, basically.
Yeah.
I want them to find their way and go back to making it an event that's worth going to.
Because a festival's meant to be about all that stuff where there's loads going on, there's loads to do, there's loads to see, and it's every bit of something for everybody.
I must admit, it has always been one of the things that's like up the top of like the airsoft bucket list is.
Yeah, same as me. It's always been. Mm-hmm.
I personally would like to see something along the lines of the Midlands Airsoft Fair with a weekender at an airsoft site.
Yeah, anyone can turn up as long as they pay for a pitch. And make it reasonable price as well.
Because that would be my ultimate sort of weekender.
I can't imagine it's a cheap venue to rent for the Midlands Airsoft Fair.
That's the thing. Why wouldn't they have more pitches anyway? It's more income. I know it sounds silly, but a standard pitch is 4 meters by 4 meters. Obviously, if someone has a big one, they pay for 2 or 3, or they have a set amount. So 4 by 4. If you're any bigger than that, you have to pay extra. So that's down to the vendor's choice. But have more stalls there. That makes it more interesting for people. They might see things they've not seen of, their new products, and
exactly.
It's interesting. You know what I mean? Who don't like look around airsoft shops, for goodness sake? Why not have one in a festival as well?
This is the start of a Chairsofter weekender.
No.
Yes, mate. We'd be able to do it.
I couldn't do it. Just they'll tell you how stressful it was getting people booked onto the fucking.
Mate, it was easy. How many did I get? And
it was once we got Kerry on it, and
we did
that weren't me even trying. For instance, Berserker, I got asked to do a private game, which I've organised, and in less than 24 hours, I had 31 people booked in less than 24 hours, and their maximum capacity is around 40, 44. And obviously, I don't want that many because we're all quite aggressive players. So it'll be a bit too chaotic. But yeah, in less than 24 hours, I managed to organise an event and completely book the day out for them.
Chesney's going on about Chairsofter weekender as well. Okay, we'll do that at the site we're opening up, right?
For everyone. That sounds cosy.
How hard can it be?
Yeah, recliners for everyone. But yeah, I think we've sort of gone on about this. The only other bit of news we've got really is that the guys from Battle Stations, or the owner from Battle Stations, has got back in touch with us after the event the other night, and he's going to be releasing a video response to our episode the other day, which we'll happily give him the time to come on and discuss, and we'll play that out ourselves. And if the option's there for you, if you want to come on and go through the things with us, we'll happily sit down on an episode and talk to you about it and go through it. I think that's it from us, though. So I think what we need to do is, we need to get an after hours intro in, so it's not the same as the normal episodes. We need to get like a different intro for this one.
Yeah, definitely.
Let you have fun with that one.
If anyone knows anyone that can produce a decent introduction for us, get them to email andy@chairsoftershow.co.uk. And also, please do it for free, because I have no monies, because NAF.
Or payment in kind.
Yeah. Or if you take Klarna, I'll do that, right?
Just don't be poor.
Yeah, and that bombshell, it's time to end. Take care, guys.